boss. And when he finally stopped dancing, he started talking. His face was shining like a light. He said, I've been dancing with angels. He said, all these angels are with me. And I was dancing with these angels. And it was wonderful. It was so wonderful. The glory of God is a wonderful thing. But don't touch the ark. If you ever touch the ark, you're a dead man. Even though the whole time the house with the ark was in the house of the son who had looked at it every day for those years that it was there, it became common to him. Never let the glory of God become a common thing to you.
Right.
Never take the miraculous for granted. Never look down at it as though it's just, oh, another one of those things. Always revere the presence of God. He had dusted it. He cleaned around it. And it was just the usual. You can get to the place where you don't even appreciate the glory of God. It doesn't matter to you that God's been through your town, that there's been a revival in your church and you didn't even know it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the revival didn't take place on Sunday morning, which was your usual day to attend the house of God. God has a way of working so that if you're not hungry, you won't get to eat the steaks. When you hunger and thirst after righteousness, you will be filled. But if church is nothing more to you and God is worship is nothing more to you, then going to church, preferably after the worship time is over, because you can't hardly stand the music anymore. And I don't blame you. Just to hear a 20-minute address. Maybe stretches on to 10 minutes after 12 when you miss your getting into the restaurant ahead of the church crowd. Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm ready to square between the eyes tonight. And it's the truth. You come in late, you got to stand in line and you don't like it. You say, well, what about the roast beef at home? I got to turn the oven off. We don't even bother with roast beef. We go to the restaurant and spend our last dollar there instead of giving it in the offering.
Right.
It's good.
Let the Spirit of God's moving through town and His visitation never become a common thing to you. You know, I'm the kind, if I hear there's a real move of God, I'm going to be there.
Right.
When we were in Indonesia ministering, and God was pouring out His Spirit all over the island of Java, wherever I went from one city to another, sometimes it was a whole day driving. What do you think? I'd see the same faces all the time. I said, how are you here? You were in Samara. Yes. And I followed you to Surabaya. Yes. And then from Surabaya you came to the north, and from there you went on to Tamala. And from there you went on to Bandung. And you went on to Jakarta. And they just came from one place to another. Do you like stories?
Yes.
I got lots of them.
Powerful.
What took me to Indonesia? I was praying one day in Hong Kong, and in the spirit, and I have these spiritual experiences. I don't know what to call them, visions or what. I was wide awake, and I was walking on lava. It was crunching under my feet. And I said, there's got to have been a volcanic eruption somewhere. And I'm going to have to go where that volcanic eruption was, because I walked on the lava. It was cold by then. And I began to inspect, and I found that over in the island of Bali, have you ever heard of Bali? Yes. It's a little island. It's very different from the rest of Indonesia. All of Indonesia is Muslim, except one little island, it's Hindu. That's the island of Bali. I found that in the island of Bali, Mount Abu had erupted. And the Hindu priests had tried to appease the god Abu, who lived up in that mountain, and had sent that river of fire down on the village. And it was flowing down like a mighty river of fire. And they walked up into the fire, giving their own bodies, and women gave them fruit to take up to the gods of the mountain to try to appease him, the angry God. And they lost their lives, were burned in the river, destroying every soul. At least 10,000 people lost their lives. And that river of fire flowed down on their village. I knew I had to go to Bali. That's what brought me to Indonesia. But when I got to Jakarta and the river of God's glory began to flow, the church grabbed a hold of me. Great Isa Almasi, God bless them. The Church of Jesus Christ. And they took me from Jakarta. I arrived with $20, $25. $20 over $5 bill American, that's all I had. I expected to stay at least 1 month and maybe longer. You know, I landed in China with 10. So I was richer, twice as rich now, going to Indonesia. And they took me to the airport. Well, first of all, they said to me that night, would you like to change money? All Americans, when they come, they want to change money. And I thought, the Lord said to me, you don't need to change money. I said, well, Lord, I'll look kind of funny that if I don't change some money. So I got my $5 bill out, and I said, well, I'll change this $5 bill. They said, that all you want to change? I said, well, that's all.